In 1719, there was a tribe called Comanche on the northern Great Plains. A young woman named Naru, who was a trained healer, was busy digging up carrots. She decided to find some time to secretly practice her skills, so she took her dog, Sari, and found a quiet place. Naru practiced her throwing skills when suddenly she heard a strange animal sound nearby. Naru sneaked deeper into the forest and peeked around a fallen tree. She spotted a white-tailed deer. Naru prepared to throw her axe, but a loud crash startled her and made the deer dash away. Naru and Sari ran after it, but Sari's tail got caught in a trap. Naru completely forgot about the deer as she ran to help Sari, who was adorably licking her face in thanks. Then, thunder roared again, but this time it was followed by something that sounded like an explosion in the sky. Naru ran to the cliff to see what was happening up there. Naru clearly saw lightning strike something falling from the sky and believed it was a sign confirming her hunt. She told her brother Tabe while they were hunting birds. Naru was super excited, saying she had practiced and was finally ready for her big hunt, which they call Kuhta Amia. Tabe was worried, not just because he didn't want Naru to get hurt, but also because Naru wanted to hunt something that was hunting them. But there was nothing he could say to change her mind. Naru had always dreamed of being a hunter. On the way home, she told her mother, Aruka, about it while sharpening her axe beside her. Aruka was busy making medicines and asked why Naru was so determined to become a hunter when she was so good at many other things. Naru replied that it was because everyone thought she didn't have what it takes. At that moment, Tabe came in with a bird from his last hunt, and Aruka praised him for his success. Naru couldn't help but feel jealous as she looked down. Aruka then asked Naru to fetch more supplies. Naru gathered some orange tosa, a wildflower that Comanche healers often use in their medicines. She followed the instructions and did just that. While she was out, she spotted the Comanche hunters, including Tabe, running and asked what was happening. They told her that a lion had attacked and taken one of their members named Puhi. Curious and concerned, Naru decided to follow them on the hunt. Tabe asked the other hunters to let her stay with them, saying that since Naru had practiced tracking, she was skilled enough to help find the lion. Moreover, since she knew about medicine, she could provide immediate assistance to Puhi if they needed it, in case they found him alive. After searching for a while, Naru, Tabe, and the hunters found Puhi lying on the ground, barely breathing, but still alive. Naru rushed to heal Puhi while Tabe and the others prepared to hunt the lion. Meanwhile, a camouflaged being had landed in the area and was sneaking around, looking for prey. It approached a snake and killed it. As night fell, the hunters set out to take Puhi back to the camp before going to hunt. Naru then shared her suspicions with Tabe. So here's the situation. The lion took Puhi and brought him back to its den, but somehow Puhi was still alive and got out on his own, which was super strange. Naru deduced that something must have distracted the lion and really wanted to find out what it was. She wanted to join Tabe and the other hunters to track the lion, but Tabe said no. He insisted that Naru should stay with Puhi, as he would need her help more than they would. As they were preparing to leave, Naru saw a dismembered snake on the ground and was shocked to see it still moving. There was a footprint and a trail of blood leading up a tree when a Comanche hunter approached Naru and reminded her that they needed to go, but Naru pointed out the footprint, yet the hunter simply thought it was a bear's. The problem was that the footprint was too large to be just a bear's, and if it were a bear, it must have been standing on its hind legs. Moreover, with the dismembered snake nearby, there was no way a bear could have done that. Naru had a bad feeling that something much more dangerous was lurking in the forest. She decided to inform Tabe about her suspicions. An unknown creature appeared, but Tabe told her they couldn't be distracted by Naru's discoveries since they were in the lion's den and needed to deal with that first. They were crouched on the ground, trying to hide from the lion. Naru suggested that they set up a bait and climb up to wait for the lion. Paka, the other hunter with them, disagreed, saying that hunters don't wait. They go straight for the kill. But Tabe agreed with Naru and said it was time to act. I climbed the tree with Paka to wait for the lion, and we talked for a while. When Paka noticed that Naru was sharpening his axe, Paka starts talking about how dangerous the lion is, when suddenly the lion appears and drags Paka away. Naru tries to shoot the lion, but it quickly climbs the tree and throws itself at her, making her fall to the ground and becoming unconscious. Naru was taken back home, and Aruka took care of her. When Naru regained consciousness, she worried about her brother, who she was told had gone after the lion after carrying Naru back home. Naru wanted to follow Tabe, but Aruka advised her, saying she was wrong to think that Kuhtamiya meant proving she could hunt, because what Kuhtamiya really meant was survival. They heard a child announcing Tabe's return, and the Comanche tribe members looked on proudly as a bloodied Tabe returned with the decapitated lion. Tabe earned the title of chief warrior, and the whole tribe celebrated for him. Naru, on the other hand, was still worried as she believed there was something out there that was much more dangerous than anything anyone had ever faced. When Tabe saw Naru walking away, he stopped her, and Naru felt disappointed to realize that even her own brother did not believe her. The next day, Naru woke up early in the morning and left the camp without anyone noticing. She found another huge footprint on the ground and used a stick that Sari had given her to check its size. Naru then attached the rope to his axe to make it easier to retrieve it again after throwing it. With his new improved axe, hunting some rabbits was easy for Naru. She ate and missed the night before as she continued her journey the next day. Meanwhile, the predator hunted a wolf and went to a cave where it sprayed something on the wolf's skull before strapping it to its belt as a souvenir. Naru exited the forest and entered a clearing. Naru was horrified to see the innocent animals that had been brutally killed and said a prayer for them. She continued her search when she noticed that Sari was missing and saw some scratches on nearby trees. She approached the ropes but fell into a mud pit. She used her axe to escape from the mud pit, and after several failed attempts, Naru finally managed. Naru cleaned herself up and created a bow that she could use to hunt the grizzly bear near the river, but the bowstring broke and caught the attention of the grizzly bear. The bear charged towards Naru, who was still trying to fix the bow, but Sari accidentally shone above the grizzly bear, so it pursued him, giving Naru enough time to fix the bow and head towards the river. However, Sari strangely ran back in fear, and Naru hid before the bear could reach her. Naru was confused when the bear suddenly turned its back on her and began to fight an invisible enemy. Naru saw something glimmering and was terrified to see a huge predator lifting the bear. Naru quickly swam, letting the river carry her away from whatever it was she saw, and the predator just watched. Naru began to walk through the forest when the tribe's men arrived and captured her. When she saw that the man was holding the wolf's skull, she became terrified because she knew they had no chance against the predator, who suddenly killed the man holding the wolf's skull. Naru watched as the predator massacred her companions. When he eliminated the last one, he looked at her, who stared back at him, but she fled in terror. As she ran across the plains, she bumped into another man from the tribe, who told her to stay low while the predator watched them. The man aimed his bow and said he had it, and Naru, terrified, said it was the other way around, and they began to run. The predator was right behind them, catching up to the man and eliminating him. Naru continued to run while the predator chased her. She entered the forest and ended up getting stuck in a bear trap. The predator approached her, but when the French arrived, he left, and they captured Naru. She woke up in the French camp and discovered that they had also captured her brother, and now the French were using them as bait to lure the predator. Then Tabe asked if they wanted to capture the same creature Naru had tracked. She said yes while the men watched from a distance. The horses began to run, and when they turned, they found their men all dead. Then, the predator approached the two men. Tabe said he needed to get a horse. As they listened to the men's screams, the predator eliminated the last one. The siblings tried to break free, but they were tied up with a tight rope as the predator approached. Tabe said they were bait, so Naru told Tabe that the predator didn't like to hunt this way. He found her earlier and just left her alone. She said he didn't see her as a threat and went away. Tabe told her how he managed to kill the lion, saying it was using her plan. Naru said she didn't know if she could kill that thing, but Tabe countered that if she bled, they could kill it. Then, the predator got stuck in the French trap. Suddenly, more men appeared and captured the creature, but were quickly killed. Then, Naru saw a trap and used it to free them. They took advantage of the predator being busy with the French to escape. Tabe went to the French horses, while Naru headed to the French camp to save Sari from the leftovers that stayed at the camp. Naru ordered Sari to go to Tabe while she stayed to bravely face the French. After Naru defeated some men, another man appeared asking for her help. He showed her a weapon and promised to teach her how to use it, as long as she helped him. Raphael taught Naru how to use the weapon, and Naru gave Raphael the orange tosa to heal him. When they heard the sound of birds flying hurriedly, Naru quickly went out and hid behind a tree. Raphael still couldn't stand because of his injuries and decided to play dead. The orange tosa Naru gave him cooled his blood, and due to his reduced temperature, the predator couldn't detect him. But then, when the predator searched for him, he ended up stepping on Raphael, making him scream and be killed. Then, Sari came to help Naru, who watched in fear as the predator aimed at Sari. Fortunately, Tabe arrived in time and hit him in the back of the head, making his mask fall off. Naru realized that the predator had very poor eyesight, especially without the mask, and had an idea. While Tabe faced the predator, Naru created a medicine made from the orange tosa. She then ran to her brother to help him fight the predator, but Tabe just told her to run, as he would fight the threat alone. Then, he said that the predator saw him as a worthy enemy and that his journey had come to an end. Even if they escaped together, the predator would never stop hunting them. Naru then watched sadly. Naru stood pointing the weapon at the predator. When he began to approach Naru, Tabe, even in his last moments, managed to hit him in the leg to protect Naru, allowing her to flee to avenge her brother. Farther away, she washed her hands, cried, and mourned her great loss. In the northern Great Plains, the hunters sent to find Tabe, and the other hunters returned with bad news. They were all dead, and the tribe was filled with sorrow. Naru, on the other hand, remained near the river until she fell asleep. When she saw a remaining man nearby, she remembered how the French made her brother bleed in front of her and captured him. The remaining man from the captured French woke up screaming with his leg cut off. He crawled to grab a knife, but Naru was right in front of him, ready to kill him. Naru said that since they didn't see her as a threat, that was what made her more dangerous. But the predator suddenly appeared. Naru stood still, knowing she was not a threat. Then, the predator killed the man in front of her. When he bent down to pick up the man's head, Naru took the chance and shot him in the head, making his mask fall off. Thus, she grabbed the mask and fled to fight the predator in a clever way. Since Naru was weaker, she used cunning to defeat the predator. She caught the predator by surprise and climbed on him, tying the rope of her axe around him and throwing him into the mud pit. Naru waited as the predator emerged from the mud pit and aimed her weapon at him. Naru told the predator that his journey ends here. Unbeknownst to her, the predator's mask was stuck between two rocks facing him, so when he pulled the trigger, his own mask detected him and identified him as a threat, and thus he died with the shot that was meant for Naru. Seeing that she had won, Naru shouted with joy and returned to her nation with the predator's head. The whole Comanche tribe received her as she threw the predator's head on the ground before the tribe leaders. She suggested that they move to another place where they could be safer. A ritual was held, and Naru became the new chief warrior of the Comanche tribe.